What's going on, y'all? This Greg. Greg said it. Happy New Year. It's like we just had last year. I mean, we had the off season, and boom, here we go again. Like going through this all again. We had a little standard off season. This year had a little bowl game that we want to call it. But I just want to get on here, y'all. Kind of was tied up yesterday and just watched the game with Arizona State. At least they showed up. Now, they blew a lot of opportunities to win it. The kicker missed 2 kicks. I think at one point it looked like the ref was trying to help with the head-to-head. I know Colorado just blew on the guy. Like Shiloh, they would have cut him out the game. Not only did they not put the guy out the game, but they let the guy stay in with no penalty. So, hey, they played well. It was competitive, and you know, they didn't win. I don't know if I care if they won or not, but I'm just glad that they were competitive. They represented well for the Big 12, for all the disrespect the Big 12 has and what they couldn't do compared to everybody else. Shout out to them boys. I think for a stint yesterday, boys, they played a little closer than what you think. Played closer than what Colorado played. And that brings me to question. Because my biggest concern, outside of what I've been telling you all along with Colorado, of them not performing well in the bowl game and showing remnant of what they done in other games, is the narrative. The Coach Prime narrative, can't win a big game narrative, and can't win a bowl game narrative, because I know he lost the 2, and it's like the teams didn't show up. They wasn't themselves. And I think the second Celebration Bowl game, they actually showed up, but they kind of wasn't consistent, and everybody didn't play and all that. You know, you run to that time of year. But just the narrative people hold over his head. Now I'm seeing people put out stuff. He haven't won out of the 6 top 25 games. He's 1-0. He haven't beat nobody over 500. You know, when you beat a team that was good at one point, but by the time you play them, they're not good, you get no credit for that. And it's like, they gonna move that goalpost on you. And I try to defend, Lord knows I try to defend Coach Prime against clowns. I know their motive, you know. And a person who doesn't have the right motive, a hater, whatever, they gonna use truth against you. And boy, they just throwing around. That was my concern. Like, boy, he gotta win this thing, because God forbid he don't. They just gonna add that as another piece. And can't say they're all the way wrong. I think the reason and everything wrong. I can't say why people do what they do, because it's certain things I don't know and I don't understand. You know, you try to support the best you can about just certain decisions that you're not in control of. It's not your job. And you see stuff going on. And sometimes you find out later there was some stuff going on, and some stuff you never find out about. But you just see some weird movement as far as players going in the portal. Like, I thought they was down. What's going on? Coaches leaving. It's like, what are you building? And trying to see what Colorado is building from year to year without having to start over. Start over new coaches in key positions. Start over new players in key positions. Yeah, you're going to use the portal, but is it every year thing? Because that's another narrative they're going to hold against you. And my only concern now, we have to answer the question, is Coach Prime being outcoached? Now, certain times I can say yeah. In certain times, certain ways. And to an extent, because it's like, what do you say, really? What do you say? Like, where has he been out coached? Is it the coaches he choosing? Is it the player he choosing? Is how he using the players? Is it the preparation for the games? Like we looked at stuff like the time you practice. We talked about, you know, need to tackle at practice, because they show very, very bad signs of can't tackle. Like, you practicing like you play out there. I literally saw somebody 2-hand touch somebody in the game. Like, oh, you forgot where you were. This is not practice. And it's like, is it certain things like that? I don't know. I think it's a well-ran organization from the look of. We get a close look at it, but I just don't know. And I hear people say it, and they getting the data piece by piece to back it up. Now, people gonna do what they gotta do. They gonna try their hardest to find whatever they can against you, if that's what they want to do. But I'm looking at it like, man, really? Because when I look at these other teams, they're looking a little more prepared. They're looking a little more competitive. I complained about the plainness of our offense. I'm not seeing that. win, lose, or draw with these other teams that's in the playoff, they look a little more like they belong. That's the key. They look like they belong there. I look at Arizona State, and they look like their positionless defense where they go up and, you know, they drop back. I didn't really see a lot of drop back. Because I see everybody line up on our defense on the line and rush and nobody get home. And it's like you're not confusing nobody. I thought that's what we were going to see. You know, you don't know who's going to drop, who's going to come. We got these hybrid players. I don't know if we fully use our pieces this year or last year. I'm not sure. I can't say that Colorado has done that on either side of the ball. I'm not even sure why we can't find the right people on special teams. You're not putting the right guys in. Are they out of position? I don't know. I'm not there at all. But when people keep throwing that out, it's about time you're going to have to answer it. Because you look at a team like Arizona State, much respect to them. That new coach, players were leaving. Players like B.J. Green could have stayed there, you know. But we lost McCaskill. I don't know what he did there. And we lost, Mateo? Like, he was playing, like, hey, decent season there. I know Tyson, I believe, was there. Tyson was there Arizona? I believe he was at Arizona State at some point. He did well during the season. And this was a team that, when I see them play today, I say they is in Colorado's place. Because it would have been nothing but a fantasy to have Colorado play in the Chick-fil-A Bowl in Atlanta. But they weren't going to get it up. When like Colorado's making it, was like, no, they ain't even getting the bye. We're going to get the bye the boys, and that's it. And but Miami, everybody else in there. Then they tried to throw Tulane. I was like, how y'all got two group of 5 teams? I thought it was just going to be one. And it was going to, if you made it, you're going to be in that first round playoff against Penn State, Ohio State. That's it. That's how they had it set up. But then as soon as Arizona State come in, it's like, oh, we're going to rank them just right so they can get one of these byes. And not only the bye, but they in the bowl. That if you definitely out of all bowls you want to see Coach Prime. I mean, it was sold that thing out 3 times over. So watching them and what they did last in the Pac-12, they was the stepchild of the Pac-12 like Colorado. They didn't win worth of nothing. And they didn't really have nothing, really. And then it's like they had the same expectation in the Big 12. Colorado had a little higher expectation than them. And it was like, everything flipped in a bit too well this year, where you see the guys at the bottom was at the top, BYU and all that included. And all the guys, the top dogs, was like Utah, nowhere to be found. Oklahoma State, nowhere to be found. They didn't even win the conference game, which is weird and new. And Kansas State kind of fell off. And it's like all those guys kind of flipped upside down, even Kansas. And then you look at the fact that all these bottom guys go and do what they did. But Arizona State, we thought we was being disrespected. You thought Colorado was being overlooked. It was the Cinderella story. I mean, they went and did it. They went and did everything that we wanted and thought Colorado was going to do in some. From the standpoint that they went to the conference championship, won it, went to the playoff, could have won it. I almost got Colorado-ish at the end, honestly. Like, you know, hey, hit your opportunity, take it. Hey, no, quit playing around. You know, you can't give a lot of opportunities away when you, quote-unquote, don't belong there. Or the other team should win. They're giving you the chance to win, take it. It don't work well when you don't. Because eventually that team wakes up and they look like they really belong there and you don't. But, boy, they letting you hang around. Like when Georgia Tech played Georgia. It's like, boy, they just giving you even go like 8-9 overtime. They really just trying to give you every chance. And you're not taking it. You're not taking it. So, ultimately, I'm not going to say it. You can say it. You put in the comments. I know y'all going to do it. Y'all love this kind of stuff. Because it ain't me. It's going to be said. They're getting the data. Like, is Coach Prime being out-coached and how? Just want your opinion. Is he being out-coached and how? You ain't got to agree. I don't have to agree. But let's have this conversation. I know the haters love it. They've been saying it. And now we got to entertain it. But we've had a full analysis. And the playoffs is moving along. And we seen what it's looking like. We seen some teams that didn't belong. We're like, Arizona State, they ain't going to play well. They don't need to play Boise. They play pretty decent. They look more prepared than what we look in our bowl game against BYU. It's the opposite effect. We thought, they don't belong there. They played more fundamental. They played more sound. They blocked better. They tackled better. The game wasn't making a lot of errors and penalties and running away from you where you can't come back, putting you in a bad position. Like, they hung around. Arizona State really hung around against Texas. And like I said, they represented well for the conference for the disrespect. Because if you blow the conference out or you blow our leader of our conference out, it's a reflection on the competition level they want to say. The competition ain't that. So they can't say that when good old Texas really could have lost to these boys. They had to just pull it off. But make sure y'all like, share, subscribe, leave some comments, and I'll be talking to y'all soon. Y'all have a good one.